Hello, fellow critters. Billy here to talk about our new Campaign 3 party. Obviously, there are spoilers for Campaign 3 and a little bit for Exandria Unlimited, so if you haven't watched Episode 1 yet, go do that, otherwise you've been warned. I just finished rewatching Episode 1 and I have to say it was a pleasure. Let's get right into it. We start Episode 1 off by clearing the table and are taken into a cable car riding the wires between spires of the city of Dressar, on their way to the Aerie Spire and the Starpoint Conservatory. Seeking access to the library for research purposes, two human women converse with each other. First, Imogen Temult, portrayed by Laura Bailey, a young, shy sorcerer with a Southern Belle-type personality and accent. Imogen is shy and very cautious. She seeks knowledge from the universities in Dressar, so she can better understand her magical abilities, or so she says. Imogen uses the spell Detect Thoughts a few times throughout the premiere and may very well be an aberrant mind sorcerer, as she telepathically speaks to Bertrand Bell later in the episode.
Bertrand hears in his head as we leave, "Thank you so much."
Ooh.
And we...
Who the fuck was that?
Which telepathic speech is a first-level feature for. Imogen reminded me a little bit of Sookie Stackhouse from the True Blood HBO series and the Southern Vampire Mysteries novels. The main character, Sookie, is a young Southern telepath who can hear the thoughts of all the humans around her. Her mind is exhausted from hearing thoughts about herself and can even feel emotions from others in her vicinity. I love Imogen so far. She has a great personality and intrigue to herself. I think telepathy and the burden of it will come to play throughout the campaign, and may even be the reason for Imogen's research. Imogen at level 3 has high charisma, dex, constitution, and wisdom. Now, the dynamic between Imogen and her friend, our next character, Laudna, is phenomenal. Laudna, no surname yet, is that friend played by Marisha Ray, a young human woman with black hair that has a shock of white running through, a pale, gaunt, thin woman in scraggle clothes with large, dark, bulbous eyes. She carries on her belt tools, odds and ends, and a homemade dead rat with a bird skull swapped in. I immediately thought of the Bride of Frankenstein, especially the white hair part, and this may be where Marisha got her inspiration from, as Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein, used medication laudanum for chronic nephritis, and reportedly used it as well in a suicide attempt. Laudna is scary.
You know, fun, scary, like...
Fun, scary.
Yeah.
I am fun, scary.
Laudna, you're scary.
I'm scary.
Yeah.
I just think Laudna is fantastically portrayed by Marisha. I can see Laudna clearly on Marisha's face when she speaks and acts. Laudna is weird, quirky, and a bit scary, as her appearance is pretty ghoulish, yet she's actually pretty bubbly and funny, which is a combination that will for sure entertain throughout the campaign, as NPCs simply react to her presence.
I'm immediately quite concerned about the creepy-ass bitch 40 feet away dripping with goo.
I love Laudna. She has this happy goth witch vibe going on. She has no idea how terrifying she actually is. And she's presented to us as a warlock sorcerer. We see her use Eldritch Blast, and most interestingly, Form of Dread, where Laudna's form transforms during battle. Her body stretches, a dark veil comes over her face, and black tears from her eyes, revealing that she's most likely an undead warlock, not necessarily being undead herself, but her patron is of the undead variety. The appearance of your Form of Dread reflects some aspects of your patron, hence the body stretching and dark veil. Maybe we have some sort of undead female Slender Man. The dynamic between Laudna and Imogen, as I mentioned earlier, is one of my favorite parts of Episode 1. They play off each other perfectly, almost like the goth older sister and younger shy bookworm. I'm very interested in their backstory and can't wait to see more. Laudna's starting stats are very similar to those of her friend Imogen's. Next, we're off to Ashton Greymoore, who is waking up in Croak House, his current home that resides in the Fauncey Hollow neighborhood inside the Core Spire, an area that light doesn't really reach and kind of reminds me of the slums from Final Fantasy VII. Ashton is an Earth Genasi barbarian who goes by he/they. Ashton has a big-ass hole in his head, filled with slag glass and showing an opalescent brain. The cracks run through most of the left side of his body. Ashton has green stone skin and crystal purple hair, a shorter person wearing old leather. The back of Ashton's jacket has the words, "Just Don't," and his giant glass hammer that he carries around has "Fuck Off" engraved into the base. Ashton is quite literally a punk rock. Credit to King of Roses, who commented on my instant recap reaction review video, linked here. I thought immediately of Vegeta's Badman pink shirt, but punk rock is pretty great as well. And speaking about videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more Critical Role. Now, Ashton is a homebrew barbarian who uses Primal Path, an unknown homebrew subclass, and has gravity powers. Ashton, and I did not realize this on my first watch, as I missed a bunch of story details, so no more Twitter, Reddit, or chatting during live episodes, but Ashton is amazing. He has an amazing belly laugh, and seems to always be down for a good time and drinking. as he literally takes his beer outside the tavern before the party's first encounter and has some for breakfast. Personally, I'm extremely excited to learn more about Ashton. I never latched on or really liked Mollymuck that much, and I already love Ashton. He seems to be the embodiment of devil-may-care. Ashton was hired to investigate a party of missing adventurers, where he discovers a single survivor, who he befriends, our next party member, Letters, F.C.G, short for Fresh Cut Grass, a robot automaton cleric portrayed by, do I even have to say it, the one and only Sam Riegel. For about 2 seconds, I went, ugh, a robot? And then Fresh Cut Grass spoke.
Well, smiley day there. Ashton, how you doing? How was your stasis? I've been sort of waiting here on standby, waiting for your designation.
A little yellow he-they dude who gets around on a single wheel, wears a cute little backpack, eats metal for substance. Yes, we have a little robot healer in our party. Fresh Cut Grass is a homebrewed cleric who is part of the group tasked with cleaning out a mine in Basuras. Encountering monsters, the party exited the mine and camped outside to rest for the night. Upon waking up from his stasis, or sleep, F.C.G found all his party members to be dead. Some of those members were other automatons, so F.C.G has the ability to use their parts, so he grabbed some of his friends' saw blade, bolt thrower, and hammer tool for his own use. Speaking with a slight southern accent and whimsical charm, and named for one of his creators' favorite smells, along with, well, I'll just let Sam show you.
She named all of her creations after her favorite smells.
Oh, that's lovely.
There was a bunch of us. There was me. There was oatmeal. There was apple pie. There was pussy.
F.C.G, well, is very much Sam Riegel. I'm confident that we will be entertained by our most likely claptrap murder robot throughout Campaign 3. So far, as part of the homebrewed class abilities include Sympathetic Binding, where, as a reaction, Fresh Cut Grass transfers, and I can't stop laughing saying Fresh Cut Grass, but he transfers half of the damage dealt to a nearby creature or party member onto itself. F.C.G's stats include high constitution and wisdom. Now for a couple of major surprises, our next group enters from Exandria Unlimited. Orym first, a halfling fighter portrayed by Liam O'Brien. Orym is from overseas in Taldore. A member of the Arashari, he is tasked by the voice of the Tempest, Keyleth, to take care of a task and will bring 2 of his EXU party members along with him. Orym is possibly on a task to find 2 people, Oshad Brescio and The Anger, as he asked Bertrand if he knew either of those people. Orym is a 3-footish acrobatic battle master who is very serious and level-headed. He's a bit of a babysitter to his friends and is very good-natured. I found Orym to be very serious and honestly a bit boring in Exandria Unlimited, but in episode 1 he seems more likable, yet still stoic. I imagine he's had a bit of his friends rub off on him as he makes a few jokes in episode 1.
Orym lags just for a second, looking down at the rug. You nearly tied the room together.
Orym's stats remain the same from the end of Exandria Unlimited, high dex followed by constitution. The 3 EXU characters were given the option of re-rolling their character stats under the same rules as the rest of the characters, but it seems as if Liam decided to leave Orym as is, as the character sheet stats are the same as it was at level 3 in EXU. Quick note, I want to keep this section spoiler-free of Exandria Unlimited. If you'd be interested in a recap of EXU or a video on if you should watch it or not, let me know in the comments. I have a long-ass EXU video review, but it's obviously full of spoilers. Along with Orym comes Fearne Calloway, a fawn Circle of Wildfire druid played by Ashley Johnson. Fearne is 6 foot tall with large eyes and fur ears, covered in poisonous flowers and her wildfire spirit Little Mr. Fire Monkey. Fearne is the definition of chaotic neutral. She does insanely hilarious things and doesn't really know any better or what's going on. I thought Fearne was okay in Exandria Unlimited, but the first episode of Campaign 3 she had me in tears. It shows that Ashley really worked on her as a character, and I can't wait to see more of Fearne's shenanigans.
As he starts to step out, I'm gonna try to swipe it. I'm gonna try to take it off his ear, grab it. Because I like it a lot.
Once again, there is more to Fearne through Exandria Unlimited, but I want to leave out spoilers, as I assume we will get into their backstories as Campaign 3 goes on. Fearne's stats include high wisdom followed by charisma, constitution, and dex, leaving her a bit different from her Exandria Unlimited counterpart. Our last Exandria Unlimited party member is Dorian Storm, an Air Genasi bard played by Robbie Damon. Dorian is blue-skinned and a bit eccentric. He carries a lute and a hand axe that is also a flute. He's well-spoken and charismatic, always looking to play some music or lighten the mood. Hoot.
She exits. So you make a gold.
Yes!
Interestingly, he is labeled as a guest character, so who knows how long he will remain with the party. My guess is that he makes multiple appearances throughout the campaign. I like Dorian well enough, he's likable and fun. Now, I don't know if this makes sense, but I love Robbie a bit more than Dorian. Robbie is a newer player to Dungeons & Dragons, but you can see how well he roleplays and his acting ability, and he just oozes joy. I'm excited to see what he does with Dorian and how playing in Exandria Unlimited helped him expand a bit on his character. Dorian's stats were re-rolled from EXU and he has a pretty significant change. He has way more strength, jumping from 14 to 17, dex going from 14 to 16, and charisma going from 15 to 16. A little bit more of Dorian was hidden in EXU. Just know that he was very reluctant to share about himself in that mini-campaign. Last but not least, we have Bertrand Bell, a late 70s to early 80s human male fighter played by Travis Willingham. Spoiler-free description because I didn't watch anything Campaign 1 related other than a few clips here and there. Bertrand is from the Search for Grog and Search for Bob one-shots, being 20 to 30 years younger in those appearances. At this point, Bertrand is basically a senile old buffoon, and I love everything about him.
I'm sorry.
Who are you?
I feel really.
Oh yes! No. I remember. I'm sorry.
Meeting the group when they all fall together to fight the animated objects in episode 1's first encounter, Bertrand, seeing the group's abilities, asked if they would be interested in gaining clout and coin by introducing them to Lord Esteros. Bertrand is amazing comic relief and part of many of my favorite moments of episode 1. He really doesn't seem to have a filter or the ability to stay awake. What is interesting is Bertrand's stats and weapons. Bertrand is actually level 5, which the rest of the group is 3. He carries around a magical sword, the Gambler's Blade Rapier, giving Bertrand a bonus to attack and damage rolls at the expense of an equally negative penalty to his death saving throws. This, I believe, means that Bertrand is not going to be Travis's main character, but a sort of NPC played by a PC. My guess is that Travis worked with Matt to play Bertrand because his character made more sense to appear a little later in the adventure. We did see this in Exandria Unlimited with a character known as Fiver Rye, who clearly was brought in to help guide the party and had knowledge from the GM Abria that the rest of the party did not have. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out, but for now, I'm loving Bertrand. Bertrand has high strength, intelligence, and dex. That's our Campaign 3 Episode 1 background and introduction on party members. Let me know in the comments who your favorites are. I'm curious how people feel about Fresh Cut Grass and the Exandria Unlimited characters showing up. I've said this before, I don't like Exandria Unlimited, and I really disliked Orym in it. I'm giving them all the benefit of the doubt in Campaign 3, so there's nothing else to do other than wait for Thursday to come out and watch more. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more Critical Role videos. Let's get the channel to 1,000 subscribers. I'll have my weekly C3 R3 video, recap, reaction, and immediate review for the following morning each new episode airs. I'll have a full written review up of episode 1 on my website, currentkick.com, now that I rewatched the episode. If you're interested in a video version of that, let me know. I may just do it. So, until next time, thanks for watching.